Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and I just spent some more money on stocks just 2 days ago, and although I will say right now, as you can see, everything is red, so I actually spent more money on the share than what it is currently worth. However, that is not really a big deal for me in the long term, because back and forth and up and down movements like this don't really matter once 40 years have passed and all of that compound interest keeps going up and up and up. So the fact that I spent a little bit more on it than what it's actually worth right now is not really a big deal, because hindsight is always 2020. When I bought that share, it could have actually gone up or down. No one really knows until it happens. But anyways, just discussing the market really quick, just do a little bit of a midday update before we jump into the stock that I purchased. As you can see right here, we are down 2.14% in our portfolio today. And then VOO is down 1.90%. That pretty much mirrors the general stock market trend. So this is another crash today. But as you can see, I'm down $1,500 in my portfolio. Definitely not a good day for me, but it could present itself a potential buying opportunity. However, I also think in the back of my mind of, okay, is this going to continue on for the rest of the week and next week? Should I maybe just hold off on buying this right now? But like I said earlier, you can never really predict the market, so it could go down to this point and then go back up again and never reach this low point again. Now, the likelihood is pointing more towards another crash or maybe even a recession. However, as you can see with the recent market moves recently, it's pretty much denied all of that, and my portfolio has recovered pretty much back to what it was at before this initial crash occurred. So the market has been sort of going against logic lately, so it's really hard to predict everything, and as they always say, one cannot consistently predict the market. Honestly, the best way you can do it is dollar cost average, and then also invest aggressively as stocks drop tremendously and hit more low points. And that's what I've done with stocks like Microsoft recently. But back onto the stock that I recently purchased on May 11th. If you're familiar with my portfolio with my updates that I do every day, then you might be able to guess which one I purchased. But the share that I bought was from Tesla. And as you can see right here, I did have 8 shares, but I now have 9 shares. Unfortunately, I spent $809 on this share, and now it's down to $781. And I would have made myself look a little bit better if I uploaded a video instantly on the day that I made the purchase. But like I said, unfortunately, stocks are down a little bit, so it's down about $30 since that original price. But in my opinion, this is going to be a multi-$1,000 stock long term, so that little small $30 loss right there isn't so much of a big deal in my opinion. And then also, if Tesla does drop lower, maybe like within the 650 range or maybe even 700, I may end up purchasing some more shares. And honestly, in my personal opinion, if Tesla hits another point like this again where it's $360, I think I bought it $364 and then short sold it, which I completely regret. Don't short sell Tesla. If it ever gets within this range right here again, like under $500, it's an absolute steal at that mark. Even under $600, I think Tesla is worth purchasing. But especially under the $500 range, in my opinion, you're just getting free money at that point. Like, looking back on it, hindsight is always 2020, like I say, but I still can't believe that I purchased the share at $364 right in this range, and then I sold it at $420 instead of just waiting for the long term. If I would have known, and I know many people say this all the time, I would have pretty much sold a ton of my possessions to get Tesla at that $364 marker, because it seems like Tesla is one of those few stocks that can recover extremely fast. As you can see, just within the past 3 months, it pretty much recovered exactly to where it was, back up to like that $830 range. So that's a good thing about Tesla. If you do purchase it at a low point, you may be able to expect it to recover a lot faster than these other stocks out here, like VOO, for example. I feel like this is a good one to compare to Tesla because it really hasn't recovered a lot since that initial drop. As you can see, it's still struggling, and I'm still down $3,700 on this stock, unfortunately, because it just takes so long to recover, and it's not as resilient when it comes to stock market crashes compared to other ones out there like Microsoft. So that example does make you appreciate Tesla just a bit more in the fact that it can recover fairly fast, like in the past 3 months, as you can see. And this is the progress for today. It's down 3% at that $784 marker. This is the past week. It is up 0.95%. This is the past month. It's up 7.54%. And then, of course, you've seen the past 3 months, past year, 238%. Absolutely crazy for 1 year's growth. You never really see that nowadays. And then, of course, we have past 5 years, which is 232%. very tremendous. It didn't have a lot of action until that last recent year that we've had. I can only imagine the people that just loaded the boat on shares within this price range right here. They are probably just loving every bit of Tesla right now. But it did take a lot of patience for them to finally reach this point and get pretty much the majority of percentage growth. And as you can see, my average cost for Tesla is $811.37. I currently own 9 shares, and it takes up about 10% of my portfolio. And right here, my cost basis is $7,302, and then my equity is $7,074. And then for today's return, we've lost about $215, and in total, we've lost about $233, which is about 3.24%. And the thing about this stock is a lot of people just look at Tesla and think about electric vehicles. However, it is so much more than that. As it says right here, of course, it mentions the electric vehicles in the design, development, manufacture, and sale of fully electric vehicles. Then there's also energy generation and storage systems. And that's one that is commonly overlooked as well. Tesla actually has their own solar panels that they will help install into your house to provide clean, renewable energy. And that is just one factor of the company in addition to electric vehicles. Here's another example right here. You have the fully integrated solution, which is basically a power pack that is like an energy storage system. And this can also help play a role in your solar panels, but this is just one other factor, and I think they recently collabed with another company on this as well. And then of course, I'm almost certain that there will be other sectors of this business in the future that are not just electric vehicles, not just solar panels, not just power packs. I feel like Tesla's one of those companies, especially with Elon Musk as the head, that could fully expand on out to many more productive and revolutionary ideas. And another thing that you may not be aware of is that in the future, the plan of Tesla is to have fully autonomous robo-taxis. And of course, many of you know that Tesla has some automatic driving features where, of course, if you just leave your hand on the wheel, it will pretty much drive for you, but you have to be safe and make sure that it doesn't make any mistakes. But the goal of that is once they perfect the updates of the autonomous driving, then they can pretty much have something like Uber or Lyft where you don't even need a driver to pick you up and take you around to wherever you need to go. It'll simply just be the car itself once the autonomous driving is perfected, and you can basically just call in a Tesla car on a mobile app on your phone and it will come and pick you up and take you where you want to go without the company having to pay an actual driver like they would with Uber or Lyft. And this is a huge factor of what I call future-proofing with Tesla, and I've noticed that they've had such a consistency with this concept compared to other companies out there, and only a few companies out there right now really focus on future-proofing. However, when you do focus on this, it basically makes sure that your business will be successful in the future, even as time has gone by. Essentially, it makes your product a timeless product where, regardless of the time frame or the time period, people can still use it and they will still prefer to use it. For example, something like Uber and Lyft where you can use your phone to get someone to pick you up at that location, that may have seemed a little bit revolutionary just a few years ago compared to taxis in the past. However, now we have Tesla coming in with the plan of fully autonomous robo-taxis where it's just taking it that one step further and could potentially make Lyft and Uber irrelevant if they can expand out that business through everywhere in the United States and across the world. And when I was back in college, I still remember plenty of people that would always ask me to order the Uber or order the Lyft because they didn't want to be the one to have to communicate with the driver or sit next to the driver or something like that. So there's a lot of people out there that do have social anxiety that don't like calling an Uber or a Lyft because they don't want to have to deal with the driver. For some reason, it's like super awkward for them, which I do understand. I have anxiety sometimes, but it doesn't really bother me too much with like an Uber or Lyft. But that would just be another niche factor that would help those people out there to where they would most likely prefer getting in a Tesla car with no driver that they don't have to communicate with or force small talk with, that would simply take them where they want to go, and it's as simple as that. And you also have to realize how cost effective this would be for Tesla as well, because they don't have to pay for drivers. And if they're the company that already owns the cars and manufactures the cars, then they don't have to worry about sourcing vehicles as well. But anyways, this is just one factor of Tesla that could be expanded on in the future. We just simply talked about autonomous robotaxis. We didn't even expand on the Cybertruck. We didn't even expand on the electric semi, the electric quad ATVs, the electric motorbikes. There's so many other future vehicles that are coming out with Tesla as well that when they finally do a reveal, in my personal opinion, it's going to skyrocket Tesla stock, especially with the Tesla Roadster and as we see more news with the Tesla Cybertruck. And I will be completely honest with you all, if a Tesla sport bike comes out, I will purchase it if it is affordable. If we get 25,000 subscribers on this channel, it's something that I would love to buy anyways, and if I was able to reach that goal, I would most likely purchase it because I kind of want it anyways, and if it's affordable, then that would give me a lot of content ideas for this channel as well, in addition to just simply stocks. But anyways, like I said, Tesla is one of those stocks that in the future, I think people will look back on the $780 price range, even on the $950 price range, and think, dang, I probably should have bought that back then. That was actually kind of affordable, even though I thought it was expensive at the moment. That's affordable compared to now. And honestly, it's one of those few stocks out there that even if it is overpriced, I feel like it deserves that reputation just because of so much that is going to happen in the future with this company. And the fact that it has been able to compete with all of these automotive companies out there that have been established for like 100 years, do you know how much effort and dedication and time and success that it takes to compete against these companies? Tesla almost went bankrupt at many points in time, and I feel like now we are at such a moment of progress where it is almost impossible for Tesla to go bankrupt anymore. They've already succeeded past that point. They're putting out vehicles. They can't even keep up with demand, which is an amazing thing. And I truly think that this is a great stock, and I hope to see this one do well in the future. I do think that it will. I just rarely see any other companies or stocks out there that are doing something revolutionary that makes pretty much every business in a sector pretty much irrelevant unless they keep up with that company. As you know, there's some electric vehicle companies coming out right now like NIO. I know that there's a company known as Nikola that is merging with another stock, and it's sort of skyrocketing recently. But the thing is, you have companies like that's Nikola. The CEO pretty much has no past history of success when it comes to managing a company like that. They have no earnings whatsoever, and they're not expected to make a profit until like 2021, whereas you have Tesla that is already ahead of the game, that has factories already established and built, and are building even more factories, and are building more charging stations across everywhere in the United States still right now. But anyways, this is just my thoughts on Tesla. I think it is a fantastic stock for long term, but you have to be one of those people that's like a visionary. You have to be a little bit speculative. But this is just one of those stocks that, in my opinion, you can trust the company when they say we're going to make this happen by this certain date. And when Elon Musk says we're going to implement this into the software, or we're going to do this by this date, the COO and the company pretty much are honest with us on their goals for the future and when they can make things happen. And it's one of the few companies that know how to expedite the process of getting something done as well. I don't really see any other companies out there that can get something done fast like Tesla and Elon Musk do. They do not waste time, and that is a huge aspect of success. Anyways, I just wanted to share this video with you all, and if you did enjoy it, please make sure to smash that like button, drop a like on the video. It really does help me out, and it helps me get videos recommended to newer viewers as well. And also, if you're new, feel free to use my referral link for Robinhood and Webull down in the description below. If you sign up with my link, we'll both get some free stocks. As you can see right here are just a few examples. Some of them are actually pretty good value, like this one's almost $10, and it also supports the channel, so I appreciate that. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.